Hey guys, this is Matt Beck from FreeSalonEducation.com here with Rebecca from
Hello.
the Hairstylist Education Forum, correct?
Yes, correct.
So I can't wait to talk to you. We're at ISSE. We're live in front of everybody.
Yes, we are.
I can't wait to talk to you about the forum because it's just such a cool avenue for people to be able to post stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to get your thoughts behind why you started the forum and all of that. You have this huge following at this point. So I want to
crazy.
break down and just kind of, we'll let everybody know how you did it, why you did it, and all of that. So
Okay.
I want to start off, you grew up where?
I was born in Pittsburgh, but Northwest Florida, which is nothing really to brag about, but
Okay.
currently there in Pensacola.
So you're in Florida?
Yeah.
All right. It's hot and humid there. I was just there 2 weeks ago with Millennium, and it was like,
You know,
it's not like here.
can I be like frank and say whatever?
You can say whatever you
Okay,
want.
it's kind of like the butthole of Florida is where I live, and
Florida has a butthole? That's
yeah.
good.
And I
We've
live
learned
there,
something.
so yeah, it's
Okay.
very humid.
So you, so tell me-
asked.
yeah, exactly. That was very frank. Good
Okay.
job. So you grew up in Florida.
Yeah.
And you became a hairstylist when?
10 years ago this year, actually, yeah.
Everyone I've talked to today has been except for Candy Shaw, but everybody's been a hairstylist for 10 years.
It's
It must be like the magic number.
It is.
We finally figure out what we want to do 10 years later. So,
Yeah.
so you became a hairstylist 10 years ago. When did you start this education forum?
I've always been interested in educating stylists. I've
Okay.
always been really passionate about it. But in April of this year, it'll be a year.
Okay.
And we're almost up to 25,000 stylists.
That's-
Only stylists. It's not a group for anybody other than a stylist, a student, or a barber.
And
that's
yeah,
what-
because they have to be accepted,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So the beauty for me with creating a Facebook group,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of the new trend, is because the people that follow that group see what you post.
Yeah.
If you have a regular Facebook fan page or like page, you post something, maybe you have 10,000 followers, but 100 people see it.
Yeah.
In a group, everybody can get to be part of the conversation.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about watching the Hairstylist Education Forum is because somebody will post a questions constantly all day, and then they get 100 responses.
And you can
right
refer
after.
back to it, and it's just like a thread of really great information.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people there. Like you mentioned, Candy Shaw.
Yeah.
The Dean, the creator of Olaplex, the Doves, the Sonia and Christopher Dove.
Yeah.
Nick Arojo. You name it. Like CEOs of companies are in that forum along with us regular stylists. So
Yeah, but the great thing about it is you created something that is that powerful,
it's nuts.
and you've been doing hair. How old are you?
I'm 34.
34.
Yeah.
Okay. So think about that. I mean, you've been doing hair for 10 years. You created something that most large companies don't have that following, you know?
No.
So all these large companies are now looking at how do we start to kind of help out and help hairdressers, and that's the whole movement that's happening in the
Exactly.
industry.
The climate's changing. Before it was just manufacturer influence, and if you were any sort of educator, you had to work for a company. And
Right.
now I don't work for a company. I was, with Joico for 6.5 years, but I'm independent, and
Right.
I think it's kind of making large manufacturers be a little scared, or I don't know, like they need to change now because the climate's changing.
What it's going to do is it's going to make large corporations more personal.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to have to realize that it's even with hairdressers in general.
Yeah.
A lot of hairdressers, because the ego gets so big, you'll write them on Facebook, they don't write you back. They
It's
don't
true.
even acknowledge that you exist. But we're hairdressers.
Yeah.
You know, like we're people.
That's exactly right.
And that's what creating a forum or creating things, it's communicating with stylists. So I love that you have created that avenue. How many followers are on there now?
Almost 25,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now what do you think the future looks like for what you're doing? Like
For-
now
for
that you've
Hef?
built this? Yeah.
Well, it's called HEF, by the way.
Called
Hairstylist.
Hef?
Yeah,
All right.
Hairstylist
That's
Education
way easier to
Forum.
remember. And
Yeah, well, the loving term that we call members is heifers,
Okay.
which I mean, I don't know. You can
Okay,
take it or leave
heifers,
it, but
yeah.
yeah. But I don't know where the future is leading with that, but we're having manufacturers like donate products and money and, to hold HEF exclusive contests. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know what I can
where would
say
you
or
like
not.
it to go? Like when you think about the future and you're 10 years into the business, where do you think, what would be your dream scenario?
That's really hard because I'm sort of taking every experience as it comes. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been asked to be on stage with the Inner Coiffure. I'm going to say it wrong, and then BTC is contacting me. None of this is something that I thought would happen 5
Right.
years ago. So I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah.
I'm when I reach one goal, there's the next goal and the next goal. I'm just sort of riding it until
That's
I don't know.
awesome.
I'm very passionate about it.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think? So coming up in the future, do you have anything planned? Are you going to be at any other shows?
Yes, I'm gonna do the ABS and
Okay.
Stylist Choice Award in Chicago.
Okay.
I also am a private educator, so I'm touring the U.S. right now doing my private education.
Okay.
Some magazine projects coming up.
What's your education background? So you worked for Joico.
Yeah, I was a national educator for Joico for 6.5 years, so
Okay.
I had that manufacturer influence.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of at hair schools, gone and spoke in front of hair schools, but mainly that's my manufacturer background. It's
Okay.
Joico. So now I just didn't want to be affiliated with a company anymore.
Right.
I wanted to do it myself, my way, not follow with a manufacturer, you're almost feeling like you're being sold.
Yeah.
You have to use their vernacular, sort of. I think people really relate to a stylist teaching
Right.
a stylist.
Right,
And
exactly.
so I do have a background, but I personally prefer private education.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how can people get a hold of you?
Instagram is a big one. Vivid
Okay.
Artistic Hair Design. Vivid Education is my email.
Okay.
And then the Hairstylist Education Forum, we have to be friends on Facebook for me to add you, but I've reached my stupid 5K limit. So
Okay.
find me on Instagram and we'll figure it out that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So make sure you guys, if you haven't joined the Hairstylist Education Forum,
Awesome.
you do that. There's a lot. I mean, you can get all kinds of advice from all different industry professionals
Yeah.
and everything. So thank you so much for sitting down.
you.
Thank you to Millennium. I can't talk. Millennium Systems International for letting us use their booth and do these great interviews with awesome people like Rebecca.
Pieces
So,
of what?
Pieces
No.
of people.
People.
So thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys on the next
Thank
video.
you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Hey guys, this is Matt Beck from Free Salon Education. I'm here with a new friend, Nick Stenson from Matrix and JCPenney, right?
Yes,
so
correct.
We're going to get into your title there, where American Salon hooked us up with the interview. So check out AmericanSalon.com. Today, what we're going to talk about, you have a lot of things going on, right?
A little bit.
So we're going to talk about juggling jobs and all different stuff, and you have you just have a lot of interesting things that I want to pull out of you. So that doesn't sound right. So let's go. Let's start off with you are working with Matrix. What do you do for Matrix?
I am. I'm the artistic director on the design team,
Okay.
as well as celebrity stylist for them.
Okay, cool. And you also are with JCPenney.
Correct.
And what are you doing with them?
So I am the senior creative director over the brand. So
Okay.
we have 840 salons across the country.
Okay.
So I oversee all creative direction for the company.
It's very interesting to me. JCPenney has taken a quick turn,
Yes.
especially with the salon business.
Yes.
So I really want to find out a little bit more about that. So tell me, you're a creative director for all of JCPenney?
All of JCPenney.
That's awesome.
So to give you a little bit of a background, JCPenney has 840 salons. We've had them for the past 50 plus years, and they've been branded JCP Salon.
Okay.
Really not the most exciting, sexy name in the world. So
Right.
a couple years back, we said, when you think of like JCPenney and you think of JCPenney salons, you think of, oh, you know what, my grandma used to take me there when I was a kid,
Right.
or I remember going in when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So when I came on board, and as the company's kind of evolved, it says, how do we take this amazing brand and give it some newness
Right.
and new excitement to it? So they brought me in a little over 4 years ago to kind of come in and oversee all creative direction, so all education, oversee all marketing, digital, social for the brand.
Okay.
But then also within the last 24 months, we have partnered with InStyle magazine
Oh, wow.
to now create a new salon concept called the Salon by InStyle.
Okay.
So we are going to be rebranding all of our salons to be called the Salon by InStyle.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah.
like that. So that'll be within JCPenney.
Yes.
And JCPenney took a shift even within their stores. So
Definitely.
it seems like was that when they decided that they wanted to change the branding of the salon, or did that?
I think it's been an evolution in the last few
Yeah.
years. The company's evolving to the times and,
Okay.
what the consumer's looking for and how they shop. And
Right,
it's the
yeah.
same with how the consumer's looking for a salon and the types of services they want and experiences that they want.
Okay. And how did you become creative director of all the salons? How do you, with 800 different places, how do you keep that under control? That's very interesting to me.
Sure.
I have a salon with 4 employees, and it's hard enough to keep,
It's hard to manage.
So
right?
tell me what your position's like within that part of it.
Sure. So we have a little over 13,000 associates.
Okay.
840 salons.
That's a lot of personalities.
It's a lot of personalities.
Right, yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm very fortunate. I have a design team of 3 that create all of the trends that you see that come out of our salons,
Okay.
plus myself. And then we have a full-time education team of 55 out in the field. So there's 1 per district across the country that goes out and teaches hands-on education to all of our stylists.
Okay.
So what's great about that is we're one of the only organizations that has full-time educators, number 1. And number 2, we do all hands-on education for our stylists.
That's great.
And not only do we not charge them to get the education, we pay them to come to training.
Nice.
So we're all about really elevating our
Yeah.
stylist skill set and making sure that they're charged with the best tools that they need for their pocket in order to be able to give any type of service. If you think about 840 salons across the country, you have tons of different types of clients that are coming in and wanting a lot of different services.
Right.
So we really want to make sure that no matter who walks through the door, we can give them the service that they want and deliver on a really great experience.
Awesome. And so how has the growth been within the salons
It's been amazing.
since you've started doing that?
It's really been amazing. And you know what? It's been a culture shift, and it's been a perception change,
Yeah.
and now we're going through an identity change. So right now it's a little wonky because we're JCP Salon and the Salon by In Style as we
Right.
rebrand, because as you can imagine, 840 salons, it costs a few dollars to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to do it really slow and steady and make
Okay.
sure that the formula we come up with is sound that we can roll out across the country.
So tell me, like, with that formula, what do you think you could implement from the formula that you've done to start to grow those salons in somebody else's salon in the middle of America that just has 1 salon? What do you think they could do a little bit different that you've seen that has helped kind of grow,
Sure.
the JCPenney company?
I will tell you the number 1 most important thing you have to remember is the people. So you can spend $1 million on a build out and make it look the most amazing
Right.
salon in the world, but
Right.
if you don't have the heart and the soul and the talent that is in there, you're done. It's dead in the water.
Right.
So we've really invested a tremendous amount back into the experience, back into the stylist, back
Okay.
into really training them on how to be that business person
Yeah.
and be successful. And it starts with the consultation. I mean, it really starts when they book the appointment, then it goes into
Right.
the consultation, the entire experience, and then the way that they leave, and then the follow through with that. And it's really building that infrastructure that has been so successful for us and
Okay.
getting it consistent across the country. Because as you can imagine, 840 doors, everybody's got a different way to do it.
Right.
So what we want to do is, if you're, let's say, on vacation and you're in New York, but you live in LA, you can get the same experience in both cities. And that's something that's
Right.
rare, and it's something that we
Yeah,
really
it's hard
want
to
It's hard
do.
to do, right?
Right.
And we want to get to the point to where all of our salons are running at that same speed.
Yeah.
So that we can ensure to the customer that, hey, you know what? Come on in, you're going to get a really great service.
Yeah.
And what we want to be is, we don't want to be the cheapest guy in town. We don't want to be
Right.
the most expensive guy in town.
Right.
We kind of, I like to say it's like affordable luxury. You come in, you feel really great about the whole experience, and then you get the price at the end. You're like, wow, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, so it's something for
The value
everybody.
is there.
The value is there.
And so JCPenney salons, like, I think for me, being a salon owner, I think the number 1 thing has always been like implementing systems.
Mhm.
So do you, the systems that are in place, what do you think from a consultation standpoint? Do you have it all written out?
We do.
Exactly the way that they, should go about it?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have actually a book called The Client Experience that we take them through. There's actually 2 modules, and it's a hands-on class basically.
Right.
And we do role playing, and we go through all the different points of interaction, the touch points throughout the service, from the receptionist at the front
Yeah.
desk to the person who's shampooing to the person answering the phone to the service provider, all the way out until
Nice.
the follow-up. And it's really about just getting a hairdresser to understand the importance of that full circle
Yeah.
experience.
It's not about what you're applying on the hair all the
No.
time. Yeah.
Because a lot of times what happens is, and I tell stylists this all the time, I don't care how good you are, if you're not really listening to the person in your chair,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how amazing that haircut or color was that's on that person if it's
Right.
not what they wanted.
Right. Exactly.
So then you lost.
Yep.
So you have to have that point of really paying attention, understanding, and getting that connection with the person in your chair before the service ever becomes anything.
Nice. So, and you, so what I also thought was exciting is I'm in the live streaming world.
Yes.
You started some live streaming yourself. Like, how long have you been doing that?
A little over a year.
A little over a year. And it started out just JCP salons, right?
So yeah, what's pretty amazing about JCPenney, we have this big company, right? And
Right.
our offices are in Texas. Excuse me. And the one thing that I always found so amazing, we have a TV studio in the building.
Oh, wow.
That looks like something you'd see on 42nd Street. I mean, it's like amazing state-of-the-art facility.
Okay.
And I always thought, like, what can I do with this to connect our associates? Because when you think of, 840 salons, it's hard to keep them all connected.
Yeah.
And you think about your 4 people that work, right? You want to keep them connected to feel that they're part of this culture.
Right.
So my biggest thing was, how do I connect everybody together?
Right.
And then how do I also connect our vendors to our stylists in a bigger way?
Right.
So I came up with this concept called Live with Stenson. So it's basically a way, because I was getting people that say to me, can you come to my salon? Can you come to my salon?
Right.
I want to meet you. I want to know, like, I want to pick your brain. And although I would love to do that, I remember the first week on the job, my boss said to me, well, what's the first thing you want to do? I said, the first thing I want to do is get into all our salons. And she says, and what's your timeline for that? I said, well, within the next year. And she says, how are you going to do that? And I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, that's
And
like
she's
5 salons a day.
She's
every
like,
day
it's
of the week.
impossible.
Yeah.
I don't think you really realize how large we are.
Right.
And that's when it hit me like just a brick wall, where I was
Yeah.
like, this is a big beast.
Like,
And
how are you going to reach that many people?
how are you going to reach so many people? So this talk show concept is kind of like a cross between Ellen and Oprah kind of setup. We recreated my living room in the middle of this studio. I have a live studio audience. We bring in guests that come sit
like
on the
a
couch.
real live studio audience?
Real live studio audience.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's pretty cool. We bring our stylists in. They win trips to come beyond in the live studio audience.
Okay.
I have all the industry's best presenters and educators around the country that I invite onto the show.
Very cool.
And we do an internal magazine as well that kind of piggybacks off of it. So,
Okay.
like, let's say I invite Zambia, let's say, to come in and do a shoot with me for the cover of our magazine.
Right.
Then I invite him on the show, and then he'll do a technical live right there.
Yeah.
We'll tape it, and it could be played again and again for our stylists to really hone
That's
their
really
skills.
cool that
in
you
it.
guys have that.
It's really cool. It's
yeah.
really cool. And then we raffle off, like we do a spin it to win it thing, where we raffle off trips to go to different vendors' education, our own education, the latest in product innovation that's out there, and everybody in the audience walks away with something.
So it's a really exciting thing. I mean, like, it's especially for because I know JCPenney salon. I got my frosted tips with the cap highlight when I was a kid.
Well,
there.
I hope nobody will do that to you
no,
anymore.
No. But that's the thing. Like, the evolution. Like, finally, company has decided to evolve and stick with the times. You're doing a great job with that for sure.
Thanks.
So tell me, with all of that going on, you also have a job with Matrix.
I do.
So tell me, how does that work?
So it's really a great marriage, honestly, between the JCPenney gig and the Matrix gig, because I talk about great places to come get your hair done.
Yeah.
That's JCPenney, right? I talk about great products to get your hair to look amazing.
You
and
buy
that's
them at
Matrix.
JCPenney?
And you can buy them at JCPenney.
Right.
So it's this amazing kind
great.
of like yin and yang to each other.
Okay.
I work on an amazing team of artists, artistic directors that create all the trends. We do all the big industry events, trade shows, workshops.
Okay.
I'm a celebrity stylist for them, so I do a lot of on-camera stuff. I'm actually going to be doing something tomorrow on Las Vegas morning show. So we do a lot of things like that. I just did the Wendy Williams show, and it's really about like makeovers and new innovation in products and how to make everybody successful behind the chair. And then for anything national like that for a consumer, it's like how to get the look.
Okay. Very cool. And then, so are you on social media and stuff?
I am.
Where can people follow you?
You can, the easiest way is to go to nickstenson.com, and then you can link up to me on anything. I'm on Snapchat, I'm on Instagram, Facebook.
How's Snapchat going for you?
Not good. I have to be honest. It's awkward to me.
It is an awkward platform.
My nieces are like 9 and 7, and they're like obsessed with it, and every
Yeah.
day they send me a snap. So I'm like snapping more with them. But I always feel like I'm never as interesting as people want me to be. So it's so funny. Like, I snap and then I look at it and I go, that's dumb. And even pictures, like for social media, like they're like, people want to see what you're doing, where you're at, and I'll take pictures and I'll be like, nobody cares. Why am I doing that? Like, why am I posting that?
I actually, so there's an app called Beam, which is very similar to Snapchat, but it's like live video. But they don't let you preview what you just recorded. So it just puts it out there, which in a way is bad.
Probably
but
better.
I wish Snapchat was like that, because you record it and then it replays it for you and you're like, I don't want it.
No, I see every reason why I should not.
Are you
post
trying
that.
to connect it to your business, or are you finding it more of like just kind of a personal reach for people?
So this is kind of how I'm doing it right now, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. But
I don't think anybody knows that answer yet.
With Snapchat, I make it very silly. Like, everything in my life tends to be very serious. Because I'm moving so fast and there's so many things that I'm doing. So I think on like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, I'm very business focused, and then I'll throw a little bit of like out having drinks type thing. But it's a lot of business and hair and in the industry. Where Snapchat, it's like literally like I'll be like, I'm stuck on this airplane again for 4 hours on the runway.
Right,
It's
yeah.
the glamorous life, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
So I try to make it a little more silly and fun, because that's
Okay.
one thing that it's interesting. People are like, we love all this information that we're getting from you. We love what you're sharing with us, but like, we want to know about you.
Yeah.
And to me, that seems weird. Like, I
Right.
think, like, why do you care? Like, why do you, I'm not that exciting of a person. But
Yeah.
then people are like, no, we really are intrigued by, like, what do you do when you're not doing hair? Or what do you
Right.
do when you're not on TV? Or what do you do when you're not JCPenney or Matrix? You
Yeah,
know,
they
who is
want to see
Nick?
your real life.
Yeah, my real life.
Yeah, and I think that that's just in general with people. You look at some of the biggest celebrities and YouTube people and just different. They're sharing their entire life.
Exactly.
But you're learning from them at the same time.
Right.
You know, so that's very cool. So tell me, I guess the last little bit, is there anything new going on with Matrix that you want to put out there? Because I know that, you know, you're sitting down here for that
Sure.
reason. What's going on with Matrix upcoming?
I'll tell you, there's so many good things happening at Matrix right now. We have amazing portfolios, amazing range of products, but something that's new that's hitting the streets pretty soon is a new product line called Raw.
Oh, cool.
So it's our first organic line. So it has ingredients from places like Morocco. I mean, like really amazing, totally different. Looks almost like, the packaging almost looks like a milk bottle.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
you would buy.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's very disruptive in the market space.
Okay.
And it's amazing product. We can't wait to launch this. So that's
Nice.
coming this fall.
That comes this fall?
Yes.
All right, cool. And so you can follow Matrix, everything
Definitely.
Matrix. Everybody knows that. And for you, what's next?
I think the biggest thing right now is I have been using a hashtag for the longest time, and it's called I See Your Beauty.
Okay.
And it's something
What
that
is the hashtag?
I See Your Beauty.
Okay.
So, and it started off as like, I just was looking at things and found it beautiful and started putting hashtag I See Your Beauty. Well, it's morphed into kind of, it's starting to get to be a movement in a sense. And I'm challenging other people to say, this is how I see beauty. How do you see beauty?
Okay.
So it's funny. People are starting to get obsessed with the whole I See Your Beauty. When you think about it, that's our function as hairdressers, right?
Right.
Is to see beauty in somebody who sits in their chair, and probably beauty that they don't realize that they have.
Right.
So I'm starting with like coming out with T-shirts and different things like that, because people are just obsessed with this whole hashtag thing. So that's pretty fun, and
That is
I'm
cool.
kind of leveraging that a little bit more and working on that. More to come. I can't kind of go into a lot of details,
All right.
but some exciting stuff for probably around holiday coming up.
All right, cool. And all they have to do is follow you on social media everywhere,
Definitely.
and they'll get that
Yes.
information. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down.
Excellent.
It's a pleasure. American Salon, thank you for hooking us up
Thank
with
you.
this interview.
It was
and
great.
I appreciate you.
Thanks so
and
much.
thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely check us out on other videos, and check out Nick Stenson on everything social media. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next video.